Yo, what's up, everybody? Sorry it's been a minute. Thanks for clicking the video. This is Dan. We're going to talk a little bit today about, I guess, what's going on in America. Trump's elected, hoping he makes it into office before they can assassinate him, which I fully believe they're going to try to do. And if that happens, we'll be stuck with Kamala Harris. So hopefully he at least gets sworn in before they try to fucking kill him again. Hope you're having a great weekend. We're gonna watch a couple videos about what's going on here in America. We're gonna talk about men. I doubt I'm gonna have very many women followers on this channel. If I do, thank you so much. I love it. But I'm a boy dad. I'm a guy, and I'm mostly gonna talk about things that I think men need to do to get better, to change their lives, and to fit in this new society that they are trying to make ever so hard for us to fit into, whether it be how they have literally changed the dynamic of how women think in this country over the last 50 years, whether it be the attack on white men that's been going on for the last at least 15 years, the attack on all men, the lack of how much we care about men's health, men's depression, how much men hurt themselves, kill themselves, the lack of friends they have, lack of relationships of any type, lack of love from a woman. That's a big one. Men craving all the things that used to come natural. And by doing that, they are turning the average man into a simp, into a fucking pussy, into some combination of a woman and a man. And the real men who are trying to become real men and fighting through, and I would like to think of myself as one of them, play sports, hunt, have kids, pay attention, work hard, go outside a lot, spend time in nature, play with my dogs, watch some sports. I don't watch many sports now, but I have kids and I'm still trying to do right by them, and kids should be able to watch sports and not be solely focused on how corrupt this country is. So I do still pretend that I care about sports. My real love in life died when Kobe died. It's crazy. Passion. I guess I had a fire inside me that Kobe helped to drive. And when he died, for whatever reason, it made it harder. I don't know. You lose. Doesn't matter who you idolize. I think if you lose them, you lose part of yourself. For me, it was Kobe, his work ethic. It just hit home. Anyways, we're going to watch some videos. Please leave some comments. We got to get some chat going. And gentlemen, take care of yourselves. Work out. Eat right. Get the sugar out of your lives. Eat a lot of meat, veggies, some fruits. Pay attention to what's going on. Look at the ingredients of your food. You don't need to hit a gym, but you should be doing push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, pull-ups, dips. If you have some weights, you should definitely be lifting them. If you don't have some weights, you should try to find some on Marketplace. I've built a pretty decent gym in my house for my boys this year. All this year. A lot of growth this year. I'm very proud of myself. It's been hard, and I have a giant hill to climb because I've had my head up my ass for 40 years. I'm 41, and I'd say about 1 year I would be proud of myself, and that's this last year. I accomplished a lot, but I have a lot more to accomplish in my life. I feel like God possibly put us all here for a reason, and I do believe there's a fight against good and evil. And I want to be on the side of good. I believe I am on the side of good. And what's sad is I feel like the average person like me has felt so squashed that they can't touch the future of this country. They feel lost. They feel like our government has swallowed us. The word government has somehow become a conspiracy theory in itself, which I don't understand. Anytime you say the government, people almost stop listening to you like you're fucking insane. It doesn't matter if you're talking about how they handle school shootings. It doesn't matter if you talk about the FBI, CIA, Secret Service. It doesn't matter if you're just talking about taxes, if you're talking about land grabs, if you're talking about the FDA. It really doesn't matter. If you try to bring up any of it to the average person, they look at you like you're a conspiracy theorist. And I don't even understand why we're still using that word, except for it's fun to shame people. But why are they called conspiracies? Why can't we just be detectives and news reporters and independent journalists who are looking for the truth without having a label put on us? Anyways, guys, I'm going to watch the videos. We're going to interject some comments on them. I really appreciate you watching this, and I really hope that we can turn this country around, because for the first time, I'm thinking we can't. And that fucking sucks. I don't want to move. I don't want to abandon this country. I realize that's what lots and lots of people like me are doing. They're finding other places to live outside of America. I hate that. I don't want it to happen to me, but the more I look around, the scarier and scarier it is here. Thanks, guys.
From small channel, The After Pill, only got 5K subs, but someone sent in this video with 41K views saying men are relaxing as it all collapses.
Men are relaxing and exiling themselves out of society and just watching it collapse. And it's going to get worse, much worse, as the years go by. If you pay attention to the news, if you pay attention to the media, many men are not in the workforce.
Yep.
Many men
cover that.
are not getting married. Many men are not approaching women.
Yeah, not having sex. 40% of men in the last year, apparently, according to statistics.
Many men are just saying, to hell with it. They're not putting up a fight. They're not fighting back. Many men just, quite frankly, don't care. And that's bad. That's bad. Well, it's bad for society. And it's definitely bad for the American society. Right? If you have a bunch of men who are not working, who's going to carry on the infrastructure of society? Who's going to fight the wars of society? Right? Who's going to pick the women up when they fall down in society?
Nobody. You can't even save somebody on the subway because you might strangle a guy too hard, or he had a knife and he pulled out a gun and he shot him. And we've seen the headlines when men step in to be good Samaritans and help somebody, and it completely backfires on you. That one guy on the subway, he choked a dude. He called an alt-right, far-right extremist, white supremacist, so crazy shit like that. But you're just being a good person. Somebody was tweaking out on the subway, threatening people. It doesn't matter what their skin color was, but the dude was drugged out of his mind. You're just stepping in to be a good Samaritan. Why did they make it a race thing? Always on the left. But regardless, men are being taught, don't step in. Don't put yourself at risk. It's not worth it.
Right? It seems like society wants men to do every single thing with no return on investment at all.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is equal, right? Men and women are equal, right? But why isn't the courts reflecting that? Why isn't the courts reflecting that? Why isn't the military reflecting that? Why isn't the child custody courts reflecting that?
They are. They lower the standards for women. They make it easier for them to get through the door. They implemented DEI, diversity and inclusion. Simply because you're a woman applying for the position gives you the right above a man with merit who's probably overqualified for the position, but they can't hire him simply because he's a man. They need more women in the workforce, of course.
Why?
Or we have funny shit like female cops, ridiculous. Female firefighters, ridiculous. Their standards, ridiculous. It's different from the men's. You're welcome to apply for the position, but you need to be held to the same standard if we're going to be talking about equality. That's never the case.
All the hard jobs.
And they wanted to, it keeps reminding me of this, like women wanted to be in special forces, and all the fembots were saying that they need to lower the standards to be more inclusive. They need to lower the standards to include more women. The standards were sexist. Imagine that.
The infrastructure job, the construction workers, the builders, the engineers, the plumbers, electricians, you know, the men who get shitted on in society. Why is that still the majority men? Can anybody answer me that? It's not.
because only men deserve dirty jobs. Women want to be in pampered offices with air conditioning in the CEO suite if they could, want to be the leaders in driving society without putting in the work for it. You got hired because what was in between your legs, and then you expect everybody to treat you like a princess and uplift you over to executive positions when you're completely incompetent. But the only reason you're there is because they have a quota to fill. That's the brutal truth. I mean, it's gotten to the point where like calling someone a DEI hire now is like a derogatory.
Not discrimination. It's not because they say women can't do it. It's not because of any of that.
They don't
It's
want
because women simply don't want to do it, and quite frankly, can't do a lot of that hard, labor.
Well, they think they're too good for all that stuff. That's what the men should be relegated to: digging ditches, pulling up power lines,
Work.
roofing, construction, cementing. Yeah. You do the roads, all that stuff. Those lowly jobs that require backbreaking labor, too good for that.
They can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to tell us we're the problem in society. Men are so dangerous, right? They'd rather choose the bear. They'd rather choose the bear than the man. Men are such a detriment to society, not contributing, not doing anything, right? Well, now women and society are going to get what they wished for. They're going to get what their worst fears are, especially in a country like America. So you just have men, they're working, they're minding their business. They're not trying to bother anybody. They're not trying to be bothered with women at all, long-term relationships at least. Right? And that's a problem. Who's going to feed the system?
Women in the debt bubble.
If this path continues, who's going to feed the system? The system.
All right, let's dig into this. Here in America, we are fucking fat pieces of shit. We're also pathetic, and we've let the people running this country, the elite, make men fat, weak, mentally weak, physically weak, spiritually weak, and emotionally weak. We have done that through taking away their friends, their support system, their vices, how they're able to act, the community. We've done all of this. And then we lowered the standards so that women, like he said, can get into these jobs. Military, police, firemen. We lowered the standards because women said it was unfair that they couldn't meet the physical requirements. That makes us weaker as a nation. That makes us vulnerable as a nation. We have women, and I love women. I love them. I respect them. I love them. I think they're beautiful. I think they're awesome, hardworking. A good man needs a good woman. Okay. So this isn't woman hate. There are jobs that men should do. We understood this for thousands of years. Then we put women in the workforce. We did this to weaken society. We did this to lower wages. It's not a hard thing to grasp, people. We literally doubled the labor supply and forced women. I mean, they don't feel like they're forced. They think they're free, but we have forced women into the workplace. Basically, we have forced women into the workplace through mental warfare. They think that they are not important, not special, and don't have a function if they're not in the workforce. And this has never been true, ever. So we have tricked them. We've basically tricked them, tricked the public, and forced women into the labor market where they feel important. And doing this, people are having less children. We are going to have a population crash here, an unsustainable future where literally the number of Americans is going to drop significantly. You can see this. You can go look. And conspiracy theory, it's all part of the plan. So we have made men weaker. We've tried to implement women in the workforce, which has only backfired and driven this country apart. cause them to, again, women should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, obviously, okay? But they should also feel like they can stay at home, be a mom, and have a significant purpose fulfilling that life. And you don't need to ask me, you don't need to ask the professionals. You can go ask all of the older women in the workforce how miserable, unhappy they are, and they have missed out on their chance for a family, for love, for a guy. They're older. The choice of men are fucking pathetic nowadays. Choice of women are fucking pathetic nowadays. I don't even know if I see one woman that I would want to date a week. Part of that is they have us in our homes, staring at our TVs. There's no community. There's no one out. There's no money. Nobody can go out. There are many, many things wrong with this country. Finding a partner, even though we have social media and we have dating sites, has never been harder. People are alone. Alone people are depressed people. Depressed people are weak people. Weak people are scared people. Scared people are easy to control. It's not a super hard thing to follow if you're paying attention. All community has been attacked here in America. All of it. We're not allowed to have a strong community anymore. Whether that be people who worked at the same firm for 40, 50, 60 years and they were family with their other people who work there, or whether it be even simple things like basketball players aren't on the same team anymore for more than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Okay. It's everywhere. There's no community anymore. Attack on the churches, attack on everything that makes people stronger. Hope, faith. And for whatever reason, there's been an attack on anyone who looks big, strong, physical, and smart in this country for years. They are trying to make us controllable. Okay. And with lowering the standards, which they have done for the military and everything else, they have created a weaker force, whether it be man or woman. The people going into the military to meet those standards are weaker than they were before they changed that. It's just obvious. And what's even worse is there are less people right now who can meet these requirements than ever. So they've lowered the standards so women can potentially do these jobs that they probably shouldn't be doing if you can't meet the requirements that we thought you needed to be safe and have a be particularly good at whatever job you're doing. We've lowered it. And now there's not even enough men who can meet this criteria because we're such a fucking pussy country. That's just the way it is. We don't even have enough men who can meet the criteria that they lowered to join the military. There's not enough people who can even meet that criteria now. We are getting weaker and dumber as a nation.
Women, debt bubbles, and war. Guess what the three things are in society today that's destroying the middle class?
It's bound to collapse because why? Women cannot hold this system together by themselves. We understand that. Men have always understood that. But now, men just don't give a fuck. Men do not care anymore. And I understand, I advocate for men to be the best man you can and, go out and make as much money as you can, get in the best shape of your life. And you have men out there who's doing it. But they're getting in shape, getting that money, and they're getting the hell up out of here. That's what's going on. So you have a group of men who are just, you have the group of men who are lazy, who just like fuck society, man.
Yeah.
I can't get a woman. They want Chads, they want Tyrones. I'm not about to marry, the leftovers. So you have those men who just like, man, there's no sense of what am I working for? What am I working towards? Just to pay into a system that doesn't appreciate me, that just says, I'm nothing, who incentivize women to do whatever the hell they want to. Nah. So you have those group of men who just said, fuck it. Fuck it. And then you have another group of men who, like I just said, who are hitting the gym, getting into the best shape of their life, who's eating healthy, getting their mental health good, getting their physical health good, getting their emotional health good, getting their spiritual health good, getting their financial health good. You have those men over there who getting all their ducks lined in a row. And as soon as they make enough money, as soon as they hit that sweet spot, they're on the first thing smoking to the Philippines. They're on the first thing smoking
Later.
to Dominican Republic. They're on the first thing smoking to Puerto Rico. They're on the first thing smoking to Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Men are done.
Yep.
And then when it comes to politics, the left nor the right is really addressing men's issues.
Thank you. Someone said it.
Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the high suicide rates. Nobody's really talking about
Homelessness.
men leaving the country and going to live simple lives somewhere else in
Drug
another
addiction.
country. Right? Nobody's talking about MGTOW. Nobody's talking about any of this stuff.
Yep.
Neither the left nor the right. Politics in this country is a joke, and nobody's addressing the real problems in society.
I've always told you guys, red or blue, they don't care about you. It's really true. No matter who you vote, they're not going to help you. They take political donations. They suck off the same corporations. The same corporations fund their finances and their campaigns and all the donations and everything that makes them able to compete against the other side. And once they get into power, status quo resumes. Nothing changed. How many campaign promises do you think Team Red and Team Blue have made already? And of those promises, how many you think will be in legislation to get changed? Let me tell you, nothing, not one. You will get nothing. The only things that will change is what the elites want to change. And I'm not saying that's some conspiracy nut shit. I'm just saying the wealthy class in this country, in the United States of America, control the politicians. They pay for the politicians. They're the kingmakers. They get legislation made in their favor because they put those people in power with their money. Your interests are not served here because you have no power. This is why to be in America and to be a corporation, life is getting better and better for you. More deregulation, easier startup, easier to block other competitors, turn into a monopoly, yada, yada, yada. Record profits during COVID, during the Ukraine war. They're having record profits during all this inflation. That's crazy how that's happening. They have record profits while you're struggling, but you could hardly afford to feed yourself. And they want you to have a family. They want you to work towards having a wife and kids. How? You're forced to split a room with a roommate. You're living in a 2-bedroom apartment, splitting rent with the homie. Or worse, living at home with family because you can't afford a place on your own. You're a grown man. You got to live with family because you can't afford to make it out on your own. This is the system that made it hard for you. You're voting into the same system. Your vote counts, bro. You're going to vote for Team Red or Blue, and they're totally going to change everything for you. These are the only things that will change everything for you, your own 2 hands. You got to make your own luck in this world. None of these people care about you. They don't even know you exist. Your problems are irrelevant. Start taking control.
And men are picking up on that. Young men especially are picking up on that. And they're just saying, to hell with all this shit. To hell with the system. To hell with the political system. To hell with the 9-to-5 system. To hell with all this. I'll work my job, get as much money as I can. As soon as I get my money, I'm out of this bitch.
Yep.
That's how a lot of men are thinking now. A lot of men.
And that's how you exert your power. That's the only power you have is voting with your feet and your wallet. That's it. Take your money out of the system. Don't fund any of this degenerate shit.
Men are just kicking back, relaxing, watching the shit all crash and burn.
Mm-hmm.
Even if men wanted to help, society is refusing help. Society is refusing help. Try giving your 2 cents as a man in today's society. Try giving an opinion as a man in today's society. Try telling the truth. Try telling the truth as a man in today's society and see where that gets you. People are used to believe in lies. People are used to living in this fairy tale la la land. And at this point, America is a fairy tale. At this point, America's one big shit show, one big drama show, one big soap opera.
Greatest country on earth.
And men have said, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all don't want to listen to our needs. Y'all don't want to hear us out. Our opinion doesn't matter. Y'all want to continue to cater to the alphabets and bullshit and fairy tales and women's ideology. Right? Enough is enough. This system,
You know when they'll start appreciating you? When a war starts popping off and they need bodies. Oh, wait how much they'll pander to you and pander to the vote and tell you and whisper sweet nothings and how they're going to make it easier for men to get loans, to go to school, to all this stuff. Just sign up and be a body on the battlefield. Wait and see. That's when they really need you. But hey, they're already kind of thinking about that issue sprouting up. So that's why we have the porous border in the United States, Europe too. They simply can't find enough soldiers. Not enough people want to defend, for example, the United States. All the army recruitment statistics show that they're well below replenishment rate. Why would you want to defend a system that's hostile to you? Think about it. So what are you going to do? You're going to promise a bunch of people that are coming over the border citizenship and eventually other perks of like, hey, join the military or the police force, and we'll fast track your citizenship. And now you have a foreign army inside your own country, a la Roman Empire. See how well you do and how long you last. The crumbling is happening before your eyes. We're literally play for play following the Roman Empire. It's crazy.
will not last that much longer. Western society will not last much longer, not at this rate. Not at this rate. And people continue to think that somebody's just going to come along and save the day. People keep thinking that it's going to be one singular politician that's just going to come and save the day. Nobody's coming to save no one.
Yep.
America is in debt.
Mm-hmm.
America is behind. We're behind on infrastructure. We're behind on technology. We're behind in the public education space. Our citizens are stupid. Our children are dumb. The men are weak. The men have been feminized. The women are masculine. Nobody's creating babies.
Preach.
This place is more than likely done. This place is more than likely done. And who's going to do anything about it?
Nobody.
Who's going to do jack shit about it? Men have either been feminized, castrated, or just see through all the bullshit. And it's just there's no way that they feel like fighting for a system that is either corrupt, right? Or a system that is rigged. And trust me, I understand. Salute to you guys. Salute to you guys. I understand. I get it. Because best believe, as soon as I get my ticket,
Out.
I'm out of here too.
Welcome
I'm outta here.
abroad. Yeah, and it's an interesting thing when you think about the guys, because I read some of the comments too, and they're like, don't be a coward and leave your country. We have to stay and fight. Vote for Donnie. We have to take back the country from radical commies. You're not going to do shit. Your vote's not going to do shit. Nothing is going to change for you. You're delusional if you think staying and fighting. What fighting are you going to do? They already want to take away your weapons. They're already censoring your free speech. You can't even say what you want online for hurting somebody's feelings. It could cost you your job. You're already being policed. Half your amendments are already gone. You want to pretend like you can stay and make a difference? Cool. You want to really make a difference for the guys writing those comments and you're so patriotic? Go apply for local political positions in your town. Run your town how you want it. Then, if you do well enough, get voted to go run the city, then the state, and then the country. That's how it works. Prove yourself in your local town. Turn it into a little utopia that you want. And then we can talk. You have to do civic duty. That's the only way you're going to make a change. People don't want to accept the brutal truth that the ship is sinking and there's actually nothing you can do to save it. The system itself is far too large. Your impact is...
All right, we're going to interject right there real quick. So he's fucking spot on. I'm 41 years old. I've never, ever, ever been interested in politics. Not even a little bit. Always thought it was kind of a joke. I focused on building a family. I have 3 boys, 9, 12, 15. They're fucking awesome. That's why I got all the posters. It's really for them. That's making my video here in my corner of the house. But I got the basketball hoop up in the living room, built a basketball court outside. I'm a boy dad, and I've been coaching. And I guess the one thing I can be proud of in my life is I've spent the last 15 years coaching all of their sport teams. Football, baseball, basketball, soccer, teaching them how to play hockey, hunt, fish, my boys can shoot guns. They will be able to do brake jobs, jack up trucks. They will be able to sew. They will be able to cook. They will be able to do dishes. The things that I actually got taught when I was young that have a purpose. You know, the other day I busted out a sewing kit and I fixed Cameron, my 12-year-old, I fixed one of his shirts that he got a rip in it and he liked it. So took it out, sewed it. He's like, you know how to sew? I'm like, fucking right, I know how to sew, and so will you. So the people who've been leading this country, don't have the same type of morals as men like me do across this nation. Like he said, 1 week ago, I was all America's the best. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Let's fight to make it better. And now I hear voices like this and opinions like that we should just run and move out and not actually have any nationalism or pride in the U.S. because it's too late. We've lost the country. With every single year and every crisis they create, they take a larger portion of the wealth and the money from the rest of America. My dog's such a pain in the ass. I love her so much. They steal the wealth from us and they transfer it to the elites. The people that you don't even get to hear about. Like, how come we know who the CEO of Google is and the Facebook and Apple, but we don't know who runs Blackstone? Like, the most wealthy corporate company in the fucking world. We know nothing about it. Like, oh, no big deal. All these huge corporations worth $12 trillion, $7 trillion, $6 trillion. We don't know anything about them. Who runs them? Who's at the top? Oh, be quiet. So he is 1,000% right. And now that I think we got people waking up, we should have woke up a long time ago. It's taken way too long. I don't know what the problem is with America. I don't know what the problem is with people. I guess, like he said, if you were a guy and you opened your mouth in the last 15 years, you got attacked and stomped and squashed on and called all sorts of names. And we just kind of went to our own life and did our own thing. And it's been the downfall of America, is not standing up, not using our voice, not communicating. We're not even allowed to talk politics, not allowed to talk religion. Like, how are we supposed to educate ourselves on politics and religion if you can't talk about it? You know, you're not allowed to talk about certain things. You know, for a long time, the white man wasn't allowed to talk about anything racial. Like, we're not allowed. Like, it can't talk about, shootings in inner cities with it's like fucking 20 murders every single weekend. Can't talk about it. That shit's fake. Nope. Don't talk about it, especially if you're fucking white. Don't do it. You get hated, get canceled real fast. What is the problem with openly communicating about the real problems in America? Oh, because then shit might gain some traction. We might be able to fix this place. But if it truly is in a place where it's unsavable and you actually have a better quality of living overseas, which seems to be the case, it's what everybody who lives outside of America and who once lived in the U.S., they're saying it's a better life outside the U.S. So we have options. We can stand up and we can fight, or we can move out. And I don't want to move out. I'm more on the side of let's make a difference. And I've never, ever, ever wanted to be in politics. Still don't know if I would like it or hate it. Oh, honey. But I do know the people who are in politics are scumbags, corrupt losers. And I'm in Massachusetts. I feel like we have Maura Healey, one of the most corrupt governors, mayors in the fucking world. She's made all sorts of laws that go against our constitutional rights. Like he said, our constitutional rights are constantly stepped on. I've never paid so much attention to the Constitution as I have this last year, and really, truly believe it is completely under attack. And here in America, we still have some of the constitutional rights, but they're taking them. They're taking them. And pretty soon, they won't even consider that document real. It's going to be outdated. They're going to say, oh, that was created 300-400 years ago. We're not going to follow that shit anymore. We're just going to control you. We need to stand up and fight. He's right. It starts in my town. It starts in your city, it starts in your state, starts in your family. That's why I'm making this video. It's some way that I feel like I am actually helping other people. And that's, I guess, where to start. And then start going to the town meetings. Like he said, start showing up, start making your face there, your voice heard. That's the only way we'll ever break through, is if people like me start taking the jobs from the corrupt fucking Karens with the short blue hair that hate men and that hate this country, hate the Constitution, that are scared of all the constitutional rights that keep us safe, scared of guns, scared of religion, scared of freedom of speech, scared of freedom of press. That's a big one. I don't know. I really hope that people like me will decide America's worth fighting for. And that's including me. I need to step up my game.
It's far too small. The most you can do is local. And that needs to be a grassroots campaign where something like how the Tea Party sprouted up or Occupy Wall Street sprouted up, and it like infects. And infect is not even the right word, but spreads across all of America so that we can change the place from bottom up. Because this is not going to come top down. Changes never come top down. Just wait and see 4 more years under Team Red if anything improves.
America's turned into one big nightmare. One big ass nightmare. It's unhealthy to be here mentally. Most people are not making it financially. Isn't this the richest country in the world? I'm confused. Is this not the richest country in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Is this not the most patriotic country in the world? I'm confused. What happened? What happened?
And I love America. Don't get me wrong, dude. I may not have been born there, got naturalized, spent most of my life there. I bring America's best ideals out into the world wherever I go, which is why I talk so much shit about the government. I hate the government. I love the country. There's a huge difference. When they tell you greatest country on earth, they're bullshitting you. You want to see what infrastructure needs to look like and run like? Go to Dubai, go to Asian countries. You want to see what a polite, nice society looks like with rules and law and order? Go to all these other countries that I mentioned. Go to Dubai, go to Romania, go to some Asian country, go to Japan, go see for yourself. Just leave, bro. And you'll see the veil will be pulled from your eyes and you'll see the truth. We've fallen behind on a lot of things. We used to be the best. If this was like the 1950s, sure. In relation to the rest of the world, we were pretty much number one in every single metric you could possibly imagine. We're now number one in public shootings. That's about all I know that we're number one in. That's nothing to be proud of. Our students aren't number one. We're not even number one in research anymore. I think China's publishing more papers than we are now. Scientific breakthroughs. We spend more money on healthcare than any other country, and our healthcare is not the best. We don't have the highest average salary. Our road quality isn't the best. Public education, I already mentioned, wasn't the best. Our universities are still ranked maybe number 1, 2, 3, and we dominate most of the major universities, but those are from reputation from decades prior. They've turned into indoctrination camps now. We're brainwashing kids in ideologies, not actual cutting edge research. And all the metrics of quality of life, work-life balance, all that stuff, America's not anywhere near first place. Okay. Greatest country on earth. Could it be, but we have leeches at the top draining it of all its potential.
What happened, man? You can't place your blame on just one singular thing. It's a multitude of things. But I definitely think the biggest thing that played a part in all of this is society just throwing men in the trash.
Politicians.
Society believing in bullshit.
Politicians. Blame the people running the country. Don't take your eye off the ball. Politicians.
Like equality.
The rest is noise.
Yes, we're equal as human beings, but everybody serves their purpose. Men have a purpose. Men serve a special purpose. Women serve a...
Who benefits from division? Who can galvanize a voter base if they just pander to your needs? Politicians. Trust me.
Special purpose.
Politicians.
Women are great in their own right in what women are great for. Men are great in their own right what men are great at. Men are great at leading. Men are great at building, protecting. Women are supposed to be great at nurturing, loving, right? Putting things in order. But we're so far removed from reality. We're so far removed from who we are as human beings Is there any coming back?
Not our
I'm
lifetime.
not a doomer, but I don't think there's no coming back.
Nope.
I think this is where it's supposed to go. This is how it's going to end. This is where it leads. A dead end.
Yeah, if you don't think this is happening and he's just dooming it, just check the international finance world, just the polarity. We're going into a multipolar world. The de-dollarization is already happening amongst many countries. Once we are no longer the world's reserve currency, it's a matter of time that this is going to happen. We've weaponized SWIFT. We've kicked countries out like Russia out of the SWIFT system as a sanction. Imagine that, dude. Imagine. That was one of the biggest blunders we've ever had, is weaponizing SWIFT. That's what gives the dollar some of its power, is that everybody has to use our monetary framework. Now they're building their own system. Now there's other systems that will compete with SWIFT. You don't have to settle payments in a dollar anymore. Okay. People don't see the bigger picture. Life is going to get much harder for Americans.
And there's a barricade at that dead end. And we're just going to go right over that motherfucking cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Even if men wanted to stand up and do something, how many men you think are going to do that?
No.
How many men you think are going to put their lives on the line for a rigged system? How many men you think are going to, leave their families just to fight a rigged system? How many men you think are going to leave their livelihoods for a rigged system? Men are also holding the gate for the rigged system. So you have a whole portion of men who know the system is rigged, but they're on the women's side. They're on the system side.
Bingo.
They don't give a fuck. They're holding the gate. They don't mind being simps. They don't mind being agents of the state. They don't mind being agents of the system.
Weak men. Cowards.
They could care less. So as long as there's...
Listen, boys, I know it's easy to blame women because they're a source of some of your pain for you guys in personal relationships. Men instituted this system first and foremost. Weak men ushered in this era. I want you guys to remember this very carefully. Burn it in your brain. Weak men are your biggest enemy and will always be your one true enemy. Weak men is your only competition, the only other side that can usher in change against you. Everything else is noise.
This separation that you have men over here, men right here, and men over here, is going to be the same exact thing. It's going to be the same exact thing. That's what I told you guys before. There's no coming together. There's no fighting anything. This shit is done. Finito. Finished. The best possible thing you can do is get as much money as you possibly can and get the fuck out of here. And even if you do stay here, your best bet is to make as much money as you can so you can be above the bullshit, be above the system.
Private gates, baby.
There's no point being down here with the peasants. There's no sense, there's no reason for you to be down here with the lowlives if that's where you want to be. Now, if you want to be a lowlife, which a lot of men are tuning into that, if you want to be a lowlife, go ahead. This channel ain't for you. I'm not talking to you. But for the men who see through all the political BS from both the left and the right, for the men who see the system for what it is, fucking rigged.
Reach.
For the men who see that housing, mortgage is a trap, 9 to 5 is a trap, the banking system is a trap, credit cards a trap, financing is a trap, all this shit is a trap, especially if you don't have no money, which most people don't have no money. Everybody is living over leveraged.
Yep.
Everybody is living above their means. Everybody's just a mere fucking slave, man.
Another one that's awake. I've been talking these exact things. I tell you guys why I went overseas, why I like Bucharest. On the second channel, you'll see it pop up at the end here. But if you haven't watched, I talk about all this stuff. I talk about work-life balance. I talk about just not having financial pressure because everything is so cheap. Cost of living so much cheaper. It allows you to have so much excess income that you could start living. You're not surviving paycheck to paycheck. You're living. You guys have no idea. Well, you should have an idea because you're stressing the fuck out trying to make bills at the end of every month. You can't afford to get sick. You can't afford to go to the hospital. Any emergency will bankrupt you. You're living on edge. surviving on edge, actually. Why do you think so many men are starting to go overseas? Why do you think Passport Bros is exploding the way you did? I told you guys last year Passport Bros was going to explode this year and go mainstream. Everybody knows about it now. And it's not even about passing through a country. It's about relocating permanently for financial benefits. Women are going to be a distant second. I guarantee you this conversation is still evolving. Guys are still enjoying going overseas for the women. But the next stage where this matures is when men start talking strictly finances, financial freedom, and getting out of the rat race. Women become a distant second. We've arrived when that day comes, and it's coming soon. Believe me.
And men are done.
If you're from the hood, you should be able to see the whole country is turning into a ghetto. Food insecurity, working poor, broken homes, etc. America is a dying amusement park. Before it was depressing, now it's just funny. And people are missing it. The biggest problem is you could show all the facts, but women don't get it. They don't want to because the solution puts women in a bad light. Their innate solipsism prevents them to. It's pointless to debate with them. You're worried about the wrong side, my friend. You need to be looking at men, weak men, how they vote, what laws they pass, the weak men in power that make your life harder. I'm telling you, women are basically voting in a herd by consensus. We already know this if you're even somewhat read in psychology, that women basically make decisions based on consensus. So if enough people say this is good, they'll just say this is good without questioning it. Men will question shit and ask why and challenge ideas. Women don't. There's another one. The new American dream is to leave America. And I've been telling you guys this since I've been out here in Eastern Europe and have visited Dubai and stayed there too. And listen, man, go on the second channel. It's a massive departure from what we cover here. And it might leave some guys shocked. There are greener pastures. There are better opportunities. There are better quality of life with more well-run countries than you could possibly imagine. The world you've been sold about what overseas looks like and the destitution and poverty, it's a lie. It's a lie. Yeah, sure. There's some bad places in every country. Cool story, bro. You're not going to be there, though, as an expat. That's the truth. On your Western salary or Western pension or retirement fund, you won't be there. Irrelevant. That's like someone coming to America and going straight to Skid Row in Los Angeles and going like, wow, this is America? Skid Row? Holy shit. And going to the equivalent like Tenderloin and going to like Southside Atlanta and South Phoenix and all the other ghettos in the major metropolitan areas. That's like, imagine you're coming for a better life and you go straight to the ghetto. No one does that shit. You're going to go to the nice areas. You're going to be earning income that's far above the locals. That's the reality. You're an expat. You're on a Western salary. There's people like your retirement fund. There's guys making $5,000-$6,000 from their pension or retirement fund, 401k, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. You live like a king on $5,000 a month, basically anywhere outside of the Western world. I mean, lavish. I'm not saying you're going to be able to do an extra hit thing here or there. You're going to be able to travel, go all over the place, plan vacations. You can go to tropical islands because you're living in a tropical location already. And they're like, it's a couple $100. I can leave from Bucharest right now to Sardinia. It's like $150. I could go to some of the best highly rated beaches in the entire world. $150, $200 max. I could go to Dubai right now. Crazy futuristic capitalist city. Extremely well run by the royals there. It's like $300. It's insane. I could go to Italy. I can go to Spain. I can go to Greece. I could go to Turkey. I could go visit all these places. Cost nothing. And they're cheap. I won't spend an arm and a leg just to enjoy myself there. So unless you see it for yourself, you won't believe me. You can see it from my eyes on the second channel. Like I said, thank you for all those that have subscribed. Everybody in the private community, if you want to join on some of the calls, you may see I post them up on the.
All right, guys, that was Legion of Men. Great channel. I love it. A lot of great content on there. We need channels like this. We need information out there. And it makes me very, very sad because I love America. Very much do I love America. And it's very obvious that they keep our nation fat, depressed, uneducated, and scared so they can control us. It needs to stop, or in another, it's just going to take a few years, we'll have no freedoms left. The fight needs to happen. Man, moving out and having a better life. There's a lot of videos out there talking about the things you can afford once you move out of the U.S. and the lifestyle you can have. And fucking sucks when the grass seems greener on the other side. And the only way to make the grass green on your side is to fertilize it, water it, take care of it, and put it in some yard work. And that's what we have to do, all of us, if we want to change this country instead of move out. And because America is the leader of the world, still for now, they will be taking all of this elsewhere. They want globalism. They want a one world organization, a one world government. You can look into it. You can look at my last video if you want. I would love that. Guys, please educate yourselves. Pay attention. Most of all, get fit, get strong, get healthy, and educate yourself. A lot of books, a lot of videos, podcasts. Find out who David Goggins is. And hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you made it this far, thank you. Seriously. I'll pray for the country, and you guys have an awesome fucking weekend.